This is an entry task, so you guys can start like shifting your focus towards the lesson and start drawing what you think would be an optimal food pyramid. Make sure that it's big enough that you can write in it, and put down whatever ideas you have at this point. It doesn't have to be perfect. Well, that's good. You might want to add just give some reasoning, why you think writing grades would be the largest group one. I'm sure you guys have all seen a food pyramid before, but you can just use kind of the prior knowledge that you have. And if you'd like to, if you finish, you can give reasoning for each of the food groups, using your knowledge of proteins, lipids, carbohydrates. For those of you who have finished, go ahead and just write down a few sentences of how you think this food pyramid would change for high-performing athletes. You guys are working, you're just going to pass out a current USDA-approved 2014 food pyramid. And you guys can just look at that and kind of talk amongst yourselves about which pyramid you think is better, the one you created or one that's USDA-approved. What kinds of things influence you to put give priority to some foods over others? You chose to put more priority on the protein food group, animal proteins, because you yourself. So it's basically you did it based off of your own. Cool. Anyone else have any other feedback?
Too much focus on the grains.
Too much focus on the
carbs.
So yeah, like it says up there, basically our caveman ancestors were a lot healthier than we are, and a lot of arguments presented say that our Paleolithic ancestors had much shorter lifespans, so they were much unhealthier because they weren't able to live as long. But really, it's just we have modern medicine nowadays, and also our ancestors lived much harsher lifestyles because they were hunter-gatherers. So basically the main difference between our diet and the diet of our ancestors was we are now able to cultivate grain. Our ancestors weren't. So now we have all these autoimmune diseases.
Is that why they're helping impact anything? There's no
Well, it also came from their foraging lifestyle. I mean, right now everything's really accessible. You can just go to the store, drive and get fast food. But, our ancestors had to actually gather and hunt for their food. How many of you are gluten-free? Okay, right? But how many of you have seen, labels that read gluten-free on them? So if any of you go to, a health food store especially, but even your Safeway or Albertsons, they're going to have a pretty wide selection of gluten-free options just because the awareness of gluten intolerance has greatly increased, and because our bodies aren't able to break down grains, more and more people are creating options for the gluten-free market. This is background on gluten, just because, a lot of you, I didn't know what gluten was, but so yeah, this should just kind of give you some background on what gluten is. It's a protein that's found in grains, specifically wheat, barley, and rye. Gluten is foreign to all of our bodies, and while some of you can just, you don't feel sick while you eat bread, I know that some of you don't have that response, but if you wish to perform at a high level athletically, and your body's going to be spending a lot of time breaking it down, and if you just altogether eliminate it, then your body can focus on more crucial functions like transporting oxygen to your muscles. So GALT is your gut-associated lymphoid tissue.
That was probably gluten breaks.
No, yeah. So basically, GALT is when gluten is broken down in your body, it's broken down into gliadin and gluten, and the GALT reviews it and tries to, if it's going to treat it as a harmful substance or let it pass through your body.
I'm guessing gluten is found in lots of packaged foods because it's cheap. Is it cheap?
And like it said in there, it's deaminated now, which means that it's, and my group was taken away from the gluten, and so now it's water soluble, so it can be put into basically anything. But the gluten intolerance is on the rise, like so much that, I mean, everyone knows someone that has a gluten intolerance or they themselves might be, and a lot of you won't know if you're gluten-free until you actually try a gluten-free diet and then reintroduce it. This is kind of how you can relate this all to your own diet as an athlete.
It says meal timing. Does that mean no those late night snacks like a quesadilla?
Unfortunately, no. You should stop eating 3 hours before you go to bed. But yeah, this is kind of just in relation to your training. A lot of people eat the right foods, but they don't eat them in the right times, and so they don't see any progress. But it's really because of they're not recovering. Go ahead and read this handout. It should be pretty straightforward. Let me know if you guys have any questions. It has a sample meal plan at the bottom. I think that's really important as an athlete is that you are eating a lot of vitamins and minerals. Work out, you're tearing apart your muscle tissue, and you're building back up again. And if you want long-term recovery, you're going to need to have lots of vitamins and minerals to supplement your body. A diet that's full of fruits and vegetables and nuts and seeds and low in carbohydrates will often contains more